And it's a beautiful afternoon right here in Offa, Anambra State, Nigeria. Good afternoon to you wherever you are, and welcome to the program, The Assembly. I am Lord Lessef from the highest echelon of the British Empire, and today I've got three persons right here to discuss, as usual, one of the topical issues affecting the nation Nigeria. This time around, we are going not just in Nigeria, but worldwide, because we're discussing the ravaging coronavirus pandemic. Welcome once again to the program, and a very good afternoon to the three of you right here. Nice to see you guys once again. Yes, it feels great. After a week, we are back here for the assembly. Goro, how you doing?
Wallahi, Ogala Lessef, I fine, wallahi, I fine.
Yeah, I like the combination of your cloth, the green. Is that really green? A shade of green, rhyming with the cap as well.
Korekwa is a color outfit, a very color fitted.
Okay, all right, they didn't get to know you.
To jama'an da ke sararin mu yau ita su mai Mallam Goro. Asalin babana Mallam kuma ni dan Mallam ne. I am from Katsina State, Kankara local government. The only Hausa boy from the southeast kenan. Thank you.
All right, Olaniyi, how you doing?
Oyibo?
Yeah.
Oyibo, I'm very tired because the journey back from the United States was very tiring.
When did you leave for United States? You were here last week.
I left immediately after the show. You know, we have to go and be doing preparation for the inauguration ceremony of my uncle's brother.
Your uncle's brother?
Bidemi. Bidemi Joseph. Joseph Bidemi. They are calling him Joe Bide. But his actual name is Joseph Bidemi.
Okay.
So he's the
interesting.
46th president of the United States. So we have to go and start making preparation.
Okay.
Because we have to carry a Dubo and Lafon to make the amala. Because they don't have amala in America. So it's the whole arrangement and preparation and everything. It was stressful, but we thank God. We thank God for a successful inauguration.
So when did you come back?
My flight is just that is why I'm telling you I'm very tired. I'm having jet lag. So my flight is just arriving in Nigeria, and I know I cannot disappoint my people at home. That is why I came straight for the assembly show.
All right, nice to have you here. Such a patriotic Nigerian you are.
Yes, sir.
All right, let them get to meet you.
I remain your one and only Abioye, Olaniyi, the Abioye of Akuredi Otumba one of Ibadan land. I hope everybody is doing well, yo. The winning of the whole USA, this is a win for us, yo, because he's our brother.
Correct.
Bidemi is our brother. Omoluabini. So it is a good thing that at least a Yoruba man is the president of the United States.
Okay, let's just save that fallacy for another time. Prof, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, you have smiles all over your face today. Anything different?
Nothing different. I just like what you just said. Let's save that fallacy for another time. Good.
All right, then get to meet you.
Yes, I'm Honorable Prof. Zekwas, HPC Academy as usual. An academic colossus. My fans will tell you better.
Okay, all right. That's so much more like it. All right, so let's go sing national anthem because we've not got time on our side, from which we'll come back to discuss the topic of today's program. Okay, who's going to lead us today? Prof, I think you do all the honors.
Arise,
Compatriots, Nigeria's squad base to serve our father's land with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve and might, the nation born in freedom, peace and unity.
Is no longer a new term to many of us living in this contemporary world, because it is something that has been affecting the world for approximately 2 years now, all the way from 2019. Little wonder it was nicknamed COVID-19 from Wuhan, China. And we had the first phase or the first wave of the coronavirus pandemic, which came and lasted up till ending of last year, of which there was a prediction of a second wave that would commence towards December last year, of which, of course, it's continued, talking about the second wave of the coronavirus pandemic. And up to now, the pandemic is still on. And scientists will tell us that this particular wave is even going to be far worse than the previous wave. And there are still some speculations that there will be a third wave of this same coronavirus pandemic. It now looks like we are here to live with this pandemic, at least for the meantime. Today, we're talking about taking care or preventing the coronavirus pandemic. Of course, the whole rules that have been at the first wave, they are now trying to instill same rules, and this time around, maybe something more strict for this second wave of the pandemic. And just in case you don't know, in the whole world, there have been 96.2 million cases. That is approximately 100 million cases of this coronavirus pandemic, and 53.1 million cases of people have recovered from it, whereas we have 2.06 million deaths. There have been over 2 million deaths of this coronavirus pandemic. And in US alone, there have been loads of death, over 400,000 deaths, precisely 410,000 deaths in the US, much more than there was during the Second World War. This looks like a third world war. But the main thing right now is that we are here to keep to the regulations in order to avoid contracting this deadly virus, coronavirus. In Nigeria, there have been 116,655 total confirmed cases, with 93,646 discharged and 1,485 deaths in Nigeria. This thing is no longer a joke, whereas people are still seeing it as some sort of joke. Okay, now let us see what the people in the studio would have to say about this same thing. If actually Nigerians are ready for this virus, or is it just a thing we are here to live with? Once again, welcome to the program, The Assembly. I gave a brief rundown of how this virus has been ravaging the world. It is not easy. People are dying every day from this virus. Vaccines have been coming out, they've been testing the vaccines, yet even those vaccinated still get infected. There seems not to be a solution yet for this pandemic. Goro, what do you think about all this?
What I think for this COVID-19 matter, wallahi, we put for only Igbo sina in fact this one you can mad wallahi, this one it pass us wallahi. Even the HIV, this one pass on for HIV, because HIV we get them for medicine with the dilute. But this one it they kill them for person anyhow. So my own what I want to talk for this matter is that even though you get them for malaria, you can go and do them for what they do for sanitization. You go check them for yourself. because it might be COVID-19 for you go say this one na malaria make I take am for malaria medicine say it will stop kuma to avoid this COVID-19 spray something, avoid touching your eyes, your nose and your mouth. Kuma you avoid to the depot crowd. Kagane kuma all the time you dey wash your hand because with if you dey avoid all these measures kagane ko you go see say this COVID-19 as in the diamond of people go come down small. Kuma you keep your surroundings very neat.
Okay, so you're more like giving us or reminding us of the measures to be taken to remain safe.
Kuma if you want to sneeze, don't use them for your hand. Either you use your elbow, the hand. That is just the best because even the vaccine, upon the vaccine, people kuma are even dying. Kuma what you take for your phone, you say for America, say people will die for this COVID-19, even when they fight for war, they no die as they die for this COVID-19 because the death is too much. It's very serious and heartbreaking. You go just there, you go see person, you go don't fall, he die. You go say no go feel breath again, is he die.
Yeah, talking about that manner of death, you know, the reason why many persons in Nigeria are yet to believe that or the effect of this virus, or they are trying to say that the statistics being released by the NCDC, the Nigerian body that sees to this, is being bogus, is being oversized, is that they are yet to really see people dying of this virus. They want to actually see videos of such and at least be affirmed or be assured that yes, this thing actually kills as much as the government posits it to be. Olaniyi, let's hear from you as regards this. Now, let's look at it from the Nigerian perspective. Many persons are not actually believing that this virus kills as much as it's been portrayed to be. And then many other persons are believing that it's deadly, so they're taking precautions. Now, let's talk about this as a normal Nigerian street guy, as they would say.
You know, Oyibo, the thing is that they say that seeing is believing. They say that seeing is believing. Now, I can remember during the lockdown phase of last year, during the second wave, we were seeing videos of people that they tied them to ventilator machine. There are people from other countries. They tie them to ventilator machine. We see the way they are doing, their chest is doing the way they are breathing. So in fact, some of the video, when you are watching the video, you will see that it is scaring somebody. Now, when they now say, in this place, in this part of Nigeria, they open isolation center. In this part of Nigeria, they open isolation center. This person don't need ventilation machine. This Oyinbo that is from China, he sent ventilation machine to Nigeria. But we are still not seeing some of these ventilation machine in use. If you are saying isolation center, nobody is seeing what is happening inside the isolation center, unlike the one that we are seeing in the Oyinbo people. So that is why at some point some people started to say that the COVID-19 is not in Nigeria. That the COVID-19 is real, but it's not in Nigeria. That it is in the Oyinbo people country. That the one that is killing people in Nigeria. Okay, you know some people are still doubting that it's not even killing. But then even when they say that the one that is killing, they will say it's because somebody have old. That's why the person died. Or maybe because somebody have whether that diabetes or you have hypertension, the person have died. So what I am saying is, in a way too, because a lot of Nigerians are still not taking this thing serious. And it is because I just got back from the United States of America and I saw how serious everything was over there. Because the death is ravaging and killing plenty people in that place, and they are taking things very, very seriously. But in Nigeria, it is just sad and very unfortunate that the citizens in this place are still not believing it. Now, I cannot say I should not be carrying people to the United States to go and be seeing what is happening there. Me, that I am go and I am back. I am telling you people that you are listening to me, that this thing is real and it's killing people. Now, even if the government is not doing a plenty thing for them to prove the correctness of the statistics that they are showing you, it is real. So the procedure of the way that they say you should be using to stay safe, You should try and practice everything you, because they are even saying that this second wave, it is not even caring whether you are an old person, you know, before they are saying this thing is if you are old or if you have sickness. Even now, young people are even having this thing, and some of them are dying from it. So it is a serious something. No, citizens should take this thing with a very, very serious something.
Okay, Oga, you say you go for America, you come back. You don't isolate them.
You say?
You say no get them.
No, you see, you will not understand. I did not expose myself to crowd. I was in isolation all through.
So you went to America to isolate yourself?
I went to America.
You say you go see your brother, you prepare for the inauguration. Now you do.
I do the test before I enter the country. Before I enter the country, I went to do the test.
Okay, do one for isolate.
I do one for the test, and I am negative. That is
yeah,
what.
Exactly.
If you see, there are some people that are coming out of the from other country into the country, and they are not going to submit themselves for testing. That is not a good thing to do. For me, immediately as I was stepping into the airport, I saw officials on ground, OTA, and I went to meet, and they took me to the facility where they conducted. I was there for a couple number of hours. Because when I left Nigeria, I arrived in Lagos. So it was all those things that happened in Lagos before I now come back. I isolated myself and then I tested myself.
All right, Prof, from an elite point of view, I would love you to, just say one or two about this whole coronavirus and how it has been affecting Nigeria. And not basically about the first wave, but ever since the second wave was brought to our notice, that was sometime in December, that they also announced a lockdown, a 2 weeks lockdown, that clubs should shut down the rest of it. So now from that period of time, from December, where the whole pandemic, the second wave was officially announced, down to this point, how would you say that Nigerians have been keeping to it?
Thank you. Now, the second wave of coronavirus took no one unawares.
Okay.
But it is sardonic and lugubrious that the government of the day have decided to politicize, have decided to aggrandize themselves from the effects of COVID-19. What I am insinuating in all terms is that by all ratiocinations, there have been adumbrations. The citizens do not understand anything anymore. Coronavirus has come. The only thing I see it doing is wreck the economy of our country. It is wrecking the economy of our country. It is bastardizing the systematic nature of our country. It is messing up the moves and the peregrinations of our country. And taking a look at it from the first angle, you said second wave of COVID-19, how people are taking it. I'll tell you something straight. The people, 70% of people have been moving out on the road. They have been taking their moves, making their moves on the road without a single fear. No person exhibits fear because they see it as a ridiculous cabaret show of joke. Now, I'll ask the government this question, though they are not here. I would have loved them to be here to answer the question. The question is this: where do we go from here? Because the only thing, the second wave of COVID-19, as we are here, there is second wave of Hamatan. Everything is going on second wave. Strike. If by the end of this month they are not paid, second wave will start. Everything is second wave. Second wave of hunger. Look, it is just a joke. For me, it's a joke. But I will not hesitate to repeat what I said. If care is not taken, this will be 2020 Pro Max. This will be 2020 Mini, 2020 Plus. Because you know why? You know why? Because those who are supposed to be talking have decided to resort to Mephistophelism, Gampadoism, shenaniganism, aggravatism. I did not interrupt you when you were speaking. I am saying what I understand. What I understand is what I understand. The shenaniganism, the sadomasochism, all the shows of sardonic madness lugubriously insalubrious and insalubriously lugubrious madness.
All right, let me hold you there. Let me hold you there.
Have caused us pain.
All right, let me hold you there. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Oyibo, see, if somebody is claiming to be educated,
Okay.
show here, and you now open your mouth and you say that you are saying what you understand, then you are shooting yourself in the leg. Because you are supposed to be saying something that the people will understand. Now, if the government, is not doing something that is little understand,
no time.
And you yourself that you are supposed to be helping the matters.
There is
also
no time for all these things. I will say this again, and I will be very clear on it. The people have their own way of understanding. I have been on lucubration,
It is not when you are saying big people. The issue at hand is a very, very serious issue. It's a question that I ask myself is
every single word I use, we are not doctored. No word is doctored. No word is fake. All the words have where they came from. They have their terminus aqua, their first story go.
Okay.
And I will not be subject. I will not allow myself to be intimidated by a bunch of ignoramuses who don't know their left and right.
Okay.
I was lucubrating and I came up with those words. So if they want to learn those words, let them go and learn them, and they will become academic colossuses. The colossus of roads, Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Okay.
Every person.
I believe we are all communicating from our own various aspects and angles, because he that communicates has his own class of people he's communicating to. You also have your own set of persons. You also have a target audience you're communicating to. So however we are communicating, we are all making sense the much we can. All right, now he mentioned the school possibly having a second wave of the strike, but that's by the way. Now I want to talk about the schools that have reopened. Most of them reopened 18th of this month, that is this last Monday, okay, and school activities have been going on and the rest of it. Universities, most of them are having an online lecture and the rest of it, of which exams are coming fast approaching. Okay, now let's talk about these schools. Would you think it is right for schools to have reopened? I want to ask you this. Is it right for school to have reopened? And if yes, the procedures, are they being put in place? I believe you are the one that has most of children among these people right here. So
most of children that are educated.
Okay,
even my student is educated. It's education.
You see it.
My own children is education.
It's education. He claimed that his children were in the army, and it became a clear fallacy. Undebatable fallacy. Now he claims that all his children are educated. Where are they? Now it is what you say that determines what you think, because your thoughts, in one way or the other, invariably, definitely, surely, will be your words. It is what you think.
All right, let's forget about what we think and what we are saying right now. I know what I'm saying because he has on several occasions mentioned that he has kids, and many of them are in university.
When we are talking about family planning and limiting what we are doing, somebody is converting his wife into a production machine.
Okay.
The problem you are having is that once you see, let me tell you something. If you have enough money to take care of your children, there is no problem with the number of children you are born. But because you are just
if you see a poor professor you do management, if you go for this guy house for night, you go bring him, you go tell him wife this year minus resurrect 4 colors.
Aboki, since I have known you, this is the first time you say something sensible.
Allah, God bless him.
This
guy
now it is becoming clearer and clearer that these people have no foresight. Take a look at me.
I don't want to get.
I don't look hungry. That is one thing.
Yeah, you don't.
I decide the number of children.
This is Garim Kwaki in action.
These people here are instruments of an opprobrious peregrination.
Noted.
Of course.
Now, Olaniyi, now let's talk about the schools, okay, that have been on session, how they have been adapting or going by this whole coronavirus pandemic regulations and the rest of it.
Okay, tell about something.
Oyibo?
Yeah.
Let me talk like a rightfully educated somebody.
God bless him for you, Allah. Right on.
You see,
someone who said
during the first wave of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
You know, I told you I was in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
That was when my wife was coming to represent me on the show before I now came back.
Yeah.
And then I still told you that I just got back from the United States.
Yeah, right.
You see, the problem is, I am very, very okay and happy with the fact that they resumed the school. I am very okay and happy with it. Why? Because we are not going to allow ourselves to totally give in to defeat. Coronavirus cannot want to defeat us economically, and it will also come and defeat us educationally.
Constitutionally.
It's educationally.
Anyone.
Now, these young children, they are the leaders of tomorrow. So we have to do whatever that we can. Because let me tell you something. This country, Nigeria, is able and capable to do and undo.
It's the giant of Africa.
So because the problem I'm having is somebody that is supposed to have graduated from the university, maybe the person is in final year. The person has been in final year for 3 years. Somebody that was in final year in 2019 is in final year in 2020. And this is 2021, the person is still in final year. Why? Because of coronavirus and strike. But strike is even out of it. Coronavirus. Now, they have been doing online lecture. This is something that they should have done since. Because even when the first wave of the coronavirus was at its optimus maximum, China, that was the country that was hit the most in that time. They were having online school.
Even till today,
even not just from their primary school, secondary school, they were having online school, and the educational system was running smoothly, and so many other countries like that. But Nigeria was waiting, and then when they now finally make up their mind to open, they are now talking that they want to close it again. So if the second wave of coronavirus now continues to the end of the year, so are you telling me that somebody will now enter another 4 years? Is that 4 years that somebody used to graduate? You are using it to stay in one level. So the only thing that I am telling the government to do, because I know they can do it, if they make up their mind to do it. You see, some of these procedures that they are putting in place, some of these schools are not equipped to carry out those procedures. That is where the government has to step in.
Okay.
The government, because some of these schools don't have enough infrastructure. So the government can step in. They have what they call education fund, that be something like I know it's one fund that has to do with education. The government has to step in and make sure that they help these schools too. Okay, look at it now. They are having online class. Let's say they are having the classes on Zoom application.
Okay. Now,
the data for the classes is dependent on the students. And if you look at Zoom, the Zoom app is shopping a lot of data. That is enough expenses. Then you will see issues of not having a good network. Maybe one of the children that's in the village, not good network to music classes. Okay, when it's time for the exam now, how are they going to write the exam? So these are some of the things that the government should put in place. You will see schools that they don't have enough buildings. So even if you want to put all the children inside school and space them and write the exam, there are not enough buildings to accommodate them. So these are the systemic infrastructure that the government should equip these people. Because let me tell you something, if from that last year that this coronavirus started to affect the schooling system, if the government had embarked on building construction in some of these schools, they would have completed it by now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so these are the things that I feel that the government can do. They should not close down. Let the school timetable continue. But the government should step in and help the schools to make things very, very effective.
Okay, you're still on the program, The Assembly. Right now, we'll take a short break and then bounce back and talk more about the second wave of the coronavirus pandemic.
In the Anambra, here are a few tips that will help us all stay safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. Wash your hands regularly with soap for at least 20 seconds each time. Allow the hands to dry naturally. Do not use towel or clothes. Where water is not readily available, use alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Sneeze or cough into your elbow. Avoid shaking of hands, hugs, and kisses. Wear your face masks whenever you are outdoors. Your face masks when in use must cover your nose and mouth. It is an offense in Anambra State not to wear face masks outdoors and also if not being worn properly. The security agencies have been empowered to arrest offenders. Avoid crowds of 30 people and more. Always maintain physical distancing of 6 feet when meeting with people. If you notice COVID-19 symptoms, call Anambra State Public Health Emergency Operations Center's hotline on 0903 472 8047 or 0903 466 8319 or 0816 359 4310. This is a public service announcement from Anambra Broadcasting Service.
Program the assembly, and of course we are talking about the whole coronavirus pandemic, the second wave of this virus. And right now we just saw a particular promo that I just played on screen right now about the directives on how to wash your hands and how it is incriminating if you don't actually keep to these directives. And one of us here was like, hey, these things are not really applicable in this part of the world. But I think personally I've been seeing, let me talk to you guys, at least, you know, during the first wave, we had this compulsion, especially from the government officials. You see all these officers around trying to caution you into wearing your face mask. Go to the market, you see all this COVID-19 task force. They are saying if you don't wear your face mask, you won't enter the market and the rest of it. But this second wave, they are yet to start that officially. They are yet to start officially. But you see people are willingly taking up their face masks and wearing them. People are willingly taking precautions. They would see you, normally they'll give you a handshake, but right now they want to give you a chop knuckle, which is not even advisable. But at least they are personally taking up these directives themselves without being compelled to do. You know, it's something good to see actually. Finally, we are getting to be law abiding. But there are still many other persons who don't care. We won't spend time stressing how real this virus is because it is as real as you could ever touch. But how would you see these people that are actually on their own without being compelled to, wearing their face masks, keeping the social distancing, trying to avoid massive gathering and the rest of it? Okay, Goro, let me hear you that.
So, very in going to make a talk for this COVID-19, except for Nigeria point of view,
yeah.
So, for my consequences, to be honest with you, we know they put on for face masks. Because this virus we talk say na Bature virus, na for white people virus, say you know they for our country.
Let me ask you the question: why would you think that this virus can't affect people in Nigeria?
Because we are Africa.
What makes you Africa?
Okay, Allah He created us very, very, very well and give us a very.
You have no scientific proof to that.
Because we are very, very strong.
How do you know you're very strong?
We enter bush, we waka for sun, we waka for even wear mosquito day.
Do you know what it means to be in a very cold environment, like in the snow where there is so much cold and yet you're surviving?
But today, you don't ever enter for bush, for a very thick bush for night.
And you think white-skinned people don't enter bush?
Okay. If you enter this forest, what I tell you, it's kind of cool.
I'm just trying to let you know how ignorant you are about yourself and about your creature and about your skin and about your strength. Because there is no scientific proof that you can actually overcome this virus as much as the whites. And don't forget that the blacks over there living in the white countries are also being affected very much.
So now for them, but for my consequences, nobody.
I think you're just being foolishly hopeful.
So, but me, Mallam Goro, I take them for precaution.
Oh, now you are coming to the defensive part.
For me, I put them, but some of them, you know, say for.
Now, I thought you said, oh, now it's some.
No. It's a mistake of English. You know, English is kind of this kind of. You shouldn't Magana. No, I know say no for everybody.
Absolutely.
You know say there are some people they will agree and some will not agree. But for my consequences, if we are 90%, if we are 100%, 30% it is there for precaution measure. But 70%, he say no. If person die, we go say Allah ya kawo, kuma Allah ya doke. God he bring them for life. God he don't take them for life.
Oh, you see the main reason behind this issue.
Correct.
Yeah? You see, it is very, very natural, even especially in Nigerians and Africans. If you look for something that will scare the person will take you serious.
Okay.
It's just like if you are saying that God is wicked, yo. If you do this thing, it's going to kill you. You are going to fear God. So most of us human beings, we like something that will scare us. So when the coronavirus first come, and the way they show us all the picture and all the video and everything, everybody was afraid.
Okay.
Everybody was afraid, and everybody was. In fact, if they say, "Oh yeah, go on lockdown," no, everybody is inside house. Though we have some coconut head that we still go out, but the coconut head people, they are not plenty. So even if it's out of 100%, maybe it's less than 10% that are having coconut head. I'm talking about
what is
that
coconut head?
Coconut head is when you have strong head.
Okay,
when you say you will not hear word, you are a hoodlum. You say you will not hear word.
Okay, it's not a hoodlum. It's a person. If they tell you make you do one for this thing, you go say no, you no go do one.
It is still a hoodlum.
Bad person.
Oh, you was I'm saying generation here. So during that first time of the COVID, everybody was scared. Everybody was at. You will not. People will not shake you. Even small children will tell you, no, don't shake me, oh, no, cover your nose. So if you are inside a bus and somebody sneeze, everybody will turn and shake me for the person. Because at that time everybody was scaring, everybody was afraid. But now, that's what I'm telling you, that is one of the problems that the government cause you. The government now has on point, they now water down the whole efficiency of the efficacy of the virus. So it is not as if these people share wine meaning you have been whining me all this while, you have been lying to us all this while. I said the virus is not just that powerful. That is why you now see people now go ahead and go out without face masks, go ahead and shake people, go ahead and stay in the middle of somebody. So I'm telling you that it is the government that has caused this problem, because if the government were transparency with the whole fact and the whole situation and everything, and as the other people are in that place are doing, we will not be having this issue in Nigeria.
All right, let me hold on with you now and continue with you as well. There could be a possible lockdown, like people will be asked to go back to their houses and they won't have to come out until particular days when they have to go to the market to buy something, just as it was in the first wave of this virus. Would you advise that?
No, that is where another problem.
Because the lockdown, you don't even start for Abakari and for David Umar, you don't order lockdown for instead.
That is where
no social gathering, no club, no any. If they catch
that is where another problem is, because I can promise you that people will not want to comply.
But would you advise the government to do that?
I cannot categorically tell you whether I'm advising the government, because I know that the first lockdown was not easy on anybody, and I can certainly assure you that a lot of Nigerians are not ready to go through what happened in the first lockdown.
Before I will go another lockdown, wallahi, will bring my palliative. If you bring up my palliative, I go lockdown. If no lockdown, wallahi, I will enter bush. I will carry my cow. I go for market. I sell them for my car. I go lockdown. You never give me food.
As sad as it is, me, I am telling you that I am not in support of another lockdown.
Or you do small lockdown. Give us
see. When
I will lockdown with empty belly, is it possible?
When the clueless idiots that have found themselves in power unknowingly begin to say what they have, begin to offer what they have, you won't be surprised. Because Nigeria, civic education continues deceiving us. We have democracy. For me, we have kleptomaniocracy. Government of the thieves, by the thieves, and for the thieves. See, you're locking down 220 million people. When 75% of that 220 million people are feeding from hand to mouth, they need to go out every day. They need to go out for their daily hustle to get their daily bread. You're locking them down.
Fine. If I know most of the sell my cow.
Nigeria, the people who are supposed to be speaking, they are not talking. They are not running a proper comparison of those they represent. They are not trying to look into the hook and cranny. They are not trying to take a look at the problems that people have. What they are trying to look is what they call bread and butter politics. You resort to politics of gari and sugar. You resort to politics of beans and pap. And what happens? It becomes a harum, scarum, crinkum, crankum, namby-pamby show of political iconoclasm.
Point of correction, it is not beans and pap, it is beans and bread. Especially Ewagoyin.
It's all the same.
No, it's not the same.
In secondary
you
school,
cannot compare
the orientation was beans and pap.
That you went to the wrong secondary school. Listen, in the national order, it's a no-no. In the national order,
such
it's
a
no-no.
Your secondary school
Put a no-no.
I really don't know if we are actually arguing about what we should call our leaders, if they should be pap or Ewagoyin or the rest of them. It is crazy that we are actually comparing our leaders, limiting them to delicacies. I'm done with questions right now because this is the much we can take on this program. I'll urge you all, as well as those listening and watching to us, that you all should keep to the directives, okay? It's better we take precautions than to go there and see for ourselves how it is. This thing will come and it will go. It has come, it went, it came, it will go, it may come and still go. Let's all be cautious and live the life one step at a time. This has been the program, The Assembly, and I am Lord Lessef from the highest echelon of the British Empire. Until next week, we say to you, bye.
Stay safe.
Bye.
My brother, my sister, papa, mama, and pikin.